Hey there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Miller. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southern California. And today I wanted to use the In the Moment stamp set and make a quick card. I just love how these came out. But first, I wanted to remind everybody that our January through June catalog is almost done. This catalog will expire June 30th, so you can order out of it through June 30th. And the In the Moment stamp set is in here, but it was also carried over to the new annual catalog that just started. So you do have a chance to still get it. And this is our set. This is the In the Moment stamp set. We've got 3 different scenes on there and a couple really nice sentiments. We're going to use that. And I will also be using our Fabulous Frames dies. There are 6 dies in here, and this is in our annual catalog. And we will be using the largest die here. And I just love it because it embosses as you cut. So you get some nice lines on there, and then you also get the stitching. So we'll be using that. But first, let's go ahead and stamp our image. So what I did here was I've got my Stamparatus, and I've got my piece of paper, which is cut to 4 5 1/4, because I wanted that extra border around there. So I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and place that up all the way in the corner. And I am going to use my my bag here because we are going to stamp in Memento, and then we are going to stamp in our VersaFine, because Memento is not necessarily a sticky ink that your embossing powder will stick to. So I want to get the black line on there. So we'll use our Memento and we'll stamp that a couple times. You know, I'm going to use my rag here so I can get some pressure. We're going to stamp that probably twice. Let's see how good of an impression we get after we ink it up a second time. And I want to make sure that I get my sentiment good, but when you have a small, fine-lined sentiment like this, you don't really want to put a lot of pressure on it because you might end up smushing your letters. But you know what? I think that's going to look pretty good. There we go. So let's go ahead and wipe this off real quick because I don't want to get black ink on my Versamark pad. So we've done that in Memento already. Just want to make sure that's nice and dry. So now we'll bring in our Versamark. And we may have a little bit of residual that comes up off of the stamped image, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, make sure we get that nice and inked up. Stamp that down. And that should be good to go. Let's get some of our clear embossing powder on that and see what happens. I'm just going to bring that in, put some powder on there. Oh yeah, it looks like that's sticking pretty well. There we go. Just a little bit for good luck. Okay, so let's get our heat gun out and we will heat this up. Okay, and as soon as that powder turns shiny, you know you are good to go. So that looks perfect. So let's put our inks away. I don't need these anymore. And I am going to go ahead and wipe off my stamp here because it does have the Versamark on it. So we'll just give that a quick wipe. I will clean it better later. Oops. And I'm going to put that aside. And then You know what? Before we start coloring, let's put together our frame. So what I did here was I did multiples. So I cut a whole bunch of frames out, but I'm going to stack 3 of my frames here. Let's just get some glue behind these so we can put a block on that and let that dry. We don't need a whole lot of glue. We just really want to make sure we get the corners. Looks like my glue was laying on the side. So it's not, some of it started to come out really fast, but now I'm not getting much out of it. There we go. Just a little bit more glue over here. And we're just going to stack these because I wanted dimension. So we're just going to stack 3 of these. I cut 3 with my frame die that I showed you earlier. And we're just going to make sure they're stacked nice and even. And then we can put these 2 on the other one. There we go. Didn't want to come out. I'm having glue problems today, apparently. There we go. Just make sure you get a little dot up in that corner so the corner doesn't lift, and you'll be good. And we're going to stack the other one on there. And sometimes you get, when you do die cutting, you do get the little hairs, the little fuzzies from where it cut your paper. And what I like to do is I just take my adhesive eraser and I will just rub that across the edge, and it does get all of those stray little hairs off. And I wanted to let you know I will list everything that I've used along with all my colors in the description below, along with links to purchase if you are interested in purchasing any of these items. So I'm just going to take my frame here, set it aside with a block on it. You know what? I want a larger block. Let's put this block on there so it can rest and make sure that glue adheres. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my stamped image, and we are going to color. I've got a whole bunch of colors here that I used because I did a whole bunch of samples. So let's see. What color should we do this one? That's for my dog. And then, which one? This bronze is also for the dog. And then I'm using Ivory for my person here, but I did want to let you know that Stampin' Up came out with these fabulous skin tone colors, and these are just wonderful. You can get any color out of these. You can mix them or you can use them all by yourself, and they make fabulous skin colors. But I am going to use my Ivory today. And I think I want to do a blue blanket. Let's use our light Night of Navy, our dark Night of Navy, and I think for her sweatpants, we will use our dark mint macaron, and I thought I had another green in here. Here we go. This one is our light mint macaron. So let's do that. And it's really simple coloring. I did not do any kind of fancy shading or anything. I'm just going to color these images in. And then I've got samples for you at the end too. And I just wanted to kind of mention here, I started a website. It's not set up yet, so don't try to search it because it's not set up yet. But I did get a website, and I'm wondering if I put retired stamp sets on there, if anybody would be interested in purchasing those. I have a ton of retired stamp sets that that I'm interested in selling, and I didn't know if anybody would be interested in purchasing them. So I will get that set up hopefully within the next month or so. I am going to try to do that. Just leave me a comment in the down below if you would be interested in purchasing retired stamp sets. And if there's one in particular that you are looking for, if I don't have the website up yet, just send me an email to handmadehugsbymelissa@gmail.com, and I will check my inventory and see if I have that for you. So I did my my pillows there in the dark Night of Navy. Now I'm going to use my light Night of Navy and do the blanket. You know what? I'm going to do my dog first because I want to make sure I get all of him in there. So let's do that. I don't want to mess up and color part of my dog the wrong color. And like I said, it's pretty simple coloring. And I did multiples of these. So I think it took me 2 hours to do all of them. I prepped for 8 cards, and they came together really easily. I think the only thing that took me any time was the die cutting of the frame because I'm stacking it. So I had to do 3 for each card, but that was the most time-consuming thing. So let's get our dog colored here. And when I bought this stamp set, I haven't used it. I got this specifically for this image here because it reminded me of a friend that I wanted to send a card to, and I never used it. And then I thought, well, you know what? I need to start using the stamp sets that I already have purchased. So that's why we are doing this card today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do a video with each stamp set at least twice because we need to use the products that we purchase. We can't just let them sit there. We can't just make one card and then put it aside. We need to get use out of it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So here I'm just going to continue to color. Okay, there we go. That is all colored, that quick and easy. And I did want to mention, I'm sure you saw me, I did do the blue twice and the sweatpants twice, only because I wanted it to be just a little bit darker. And so that's why I went over it again, but that was so simple. And I just used all our blends. So let's go ahead and put this together, and then I'll show you some other samples. Let me get these out of the way. This was really easy. And I left it white. I left the background white because I really liked that, because in my mind, the focal image here is our stamped image, and I wanted that to stand out. So I did leave that white. Let's go ahead and put our border on there. That's nice and sturdy now. Get our glue back out. And this card came together so quick. Like I said, the only thing that took any time was the die cutting of the frame. And because I did multiples for like 8 cards, it took me maybe 2 hours. And I'll show you my other samples as soon as we're done here. But it was really simple. And I just love this. I have a friend in mind that I wanted to send this to. So I figured I better use this set. And I'm just going to center my frame on here. That's nice and centered, I think. And I can see, you probably can't see it because of the camera, but I can see a couple little hairs that I was talking about earlier right there. So I'm just going to take my eraser and those will come right off. So there we go. We've got our frame on there, and I've got my card base already. Standard A2 card base, but I'm doing top folding and I stamped it. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. I thought that was kind of fitting. She's hanging out with her puppy, having a cup of coffee and reading a book. So let's put some dimensionals behind here. And of course I do use more than I need, but I want to make sure that it doesn't sag in the middle. There you go. And I see a couple more. That's perfect. Bring in our bone folder, give that a nice crease. And then now we will add our embellishments. And like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. So I'm just going to use our classic matte dots, but I'm going to use the white ones because I don't want to take away from the image. I really liked this image and I wanted it to stand out. So let's add our white dots. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe and share. I always need more subscribers and comments. YouTube loves comments. And then what I did, I know these are retired, but I really wanted to add a little heart on there. So I took one of our resin hearts. I took the white one. And in this card, I just stuck it inside the coffee cup, just like that. So you could use anything that you have in your stash, if you have any heart accents, or if you still even have any of those. That would be perfect. And isn't that just adorable? I love it. It is so cute. And it is so thoughtful. You know, everybody loves to receive a handmade card. So we did this one. And then these were my samples. And like I said, you can do any skin tone you want with those new alcohol markers we've got. They're really nice. And then here's a couple others that I used. I didn't use the lady that looks like she's on a cruise ship or kind of hanging over the edge. I didn't use that one. She's drinking wine. I like it, but I just couldn't come up with something. I thought it needed more of a background. And then I did this one. And then we've got a couple more here. So that's it for me today. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.